I'm here at Roebuck Farm in Taranaki, New Zealand, and there's a couple dimensions to this farm. One I'll do another episode on, but the one we're going to talk about right now is how you can raise animals, pastured animals on land you don't own. I'm going to talk with Jodi Roebuck, and he's going to explain exactly how he does this. That's coming up next on The Urban Farmer.
So we're just going to move the sheep. We've been 2.5 days on this ridge. This is 90-day recovery grass, and this cell will be about 2.5 days grazing for them. Ideally we'd break this up again so that it was 1 day. Come on! Dinner time!
Alright, so we're up in one of Jodi's leases. So he doesn't own this piece of land that we're in, yet he's grazing animals on it. Tell us about that whole thing.
Well, the first course I did with Salatin got really excited about how can youth access land,
Yeah.
and we can lease it. And
Yeah.
so I arrived back from that course and just looked around the neighbourhood, and it didn't take long. I was grazing. I went from grazing 5 acres to 25 acres. And yeah, I've learnt a lot grazing on other people's land, and yeah, it's big opportunities. Like yourself, Curtis, you know, your list is
Yeah.
of opportunities is long. So it's a way to grow the farm. For me, it's been a way to grow the mob. If I lost a lease, because I want to breed a sheep that does what I want it to do.
Yeah.
So it's a way to grow the mob, and it's been fantastic.
So I mean, there's like kind of a multifold benefit out of this that I see is that one, Jodi might buy this land at some point. So, but in the meantime, he's getting a benefit that he can feed his sheep. You can grow the mob, like you said. You can breed more animals, and you're also restoring this land and making it better. So talk about some of the way you rotate, because you know when we were out today looking in some sort of conventional cattle grazing or sheep raising in New Zealand, we saw really brown fields where they're grazing. There's animals that are on there basically grazing nothing. So what's different about the way you're grazing? Because right here you guys can see the paddock above us. That's where the animals were yesterday, and then we moved them in here in the morning yesterday. Or was that, no, in the evening yesterday, last night we moved them in there. So what's different about your strategy looking at that there and seeing that there's still quite a bit of grass on there? It doesn't look like it's been cut down to the base like other conventional farmers.
Well, there's a few things going on. I think it's the day's recovery, the density, and the short duration that you're grazing there.
Yeah.
And it's about how much you leave. So it's, I suppose a good goal would be to lay down or stomp what you don't eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, we're definitely leaving more behind. Each season my grass gets larger and more diverse, and I'm leaving more behind, and I'm really noticing, especially on the taller grass with the higher density moves, I can lay anything down anywhere, and it's just like sheet mulching.
Yeah.
And the recovery, especially during the dry weather, is fantastic.
So we took the sheep out of that one yesterday. How long is that going to sit now until those sheep might come back? Like when will they go back in there?
We're coming into autumn, so typically it's roughly in summer I'm a 90-day rotation, and winter I'm a 150-day. So it'll be probably over 100 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would a conventional person do? How many days would they leave it till they grazed it again?
Conventional would still be up there chewing it to the floor.
Chewing it right to the floor.
Yeah. And they'd be back sooner, and so yeah, they wouldn't have any fences up in here, and the set stocking, the animals just pick on the palatable and erode them and leave the unpalatable. As soon as you're mobbing, there's a competition, there's a great socialization, and there's a competition to eat everything.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
it really changes the ecology of the grasslands.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you, it makes sense to me. If you chew it down, then you're just grazing it right down to the ground. You get a heavy rain in, you're eroding away all the things that the sheep left behind,
Yeah.
which is your fertility, right? Whereas here you've got essentially, effectively a mulch. And I noticed when we were up there looking at some of the manures from the previous day, that because the grass isn't trimmed down to the edge, the grass is actually covering the manure. Like you can even see here, that's what starts to happen. So that's kind of the plan, right? That's the point.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yep, contact, and there's the saying, grass grows grass. You know, if you chew it out, your response, your recovery is going to be slower.
Yeah. So tell us about, the one thing that's cool about this is we've got electric fences here. Talk about these. So this is essentially your own infrastructure here, right?
Yep, portable. They're 50-meter lengths. These are poultry nets rather than the sheep nets, and I've switched from 3 ribbons on a reel to these about 1.5 years ago, and they've been really neat. A little bit more control with the lambs when they're younger.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm currently culling for is if anyone gets out, they're out. I take them out of the mob straight away. So this mob, their behaviour with the electrics is fantastic.
Right. So you're selecting the animals for behavior. So is that like the ones that escape are the ones that get butchered, or how?
Yeah, but only really once they're up to body weight. Yep, definitely. With the opportunity for other leases, I've been needing to hold on to all my animals.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than buying animals in, I've been growing and selecting my own mob. She's nearly 2.
Oh yeah.
So they come pretty close. That's their flight zone.
The flight zone is, what's the flight zone again?
It's how close the animal will come to you.
Yeah.
And as you step to me, it's the point that they'll turn away.
Right. Okay. So that's about their flight zone there.
Yeah, even a
couple meter.
Yep, a couple meters. That they'll come close to you.
Yeah.
So the nets. There's another saying: if you want to grow grass, put up an electric fence. So really, other than this cell that we're in, the rest of my farm is on sabbatical.
Right.
As opposed to leaving 1/7 on sabbatical.
Right. How cool is that? Farming on land you don't own, raising animals, growing the mob of animals, and then using the animals to sell, or even charging people to farm on their leases. That's what's so cool about this model. It's another whole idea of decentralizing of the farmers, because you don't need to own the land. This is the beauty of this. You can start building capital. So those animals are part of Jodi's capital. That's his biological capital. That's living capital. Not only is he raising that mob and increasing that mob of animals, but he's also bringing value to the landowners that own the land that he's using. It's amazing. It's a total win-win arrangement, and it's this kind of thinking that I think is the type of thing that farmers need to know about today. You don't need to own land. You don't have to even have a lot of heavy infrastructure. Look at this. This electric fencing, I believe, cost about $200 to fence this whole area. Super cheap, super easy to get into. It's all about win-win negotiations, and there's all kinds of examples out there today. So I hope you found that useful. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button right now, and please like and share them with your friends. All right, thanks for watching.